Something that I know is good for me, one of the many things I know is good for me that I struggle to do, is journaling. And I know how good it is. I've been reading Marcus Aurelius' Meditations. I've been reading about the importance of journaling. I've watched videos on journaling and why it's so important and the benefits of journaling. But I can't seem to want to. You see, I like to journal when I'm in the mood to journal. One of the issues with journaling is that some of the main benefits come from doing it regularly or in the morning. It's like a morning ritual. You're thinking about the day ahead, or an evening ritual where you're thinking about the day you had and what you can do tomorrow, or even both. It's this idea of doing it somewhat regularly so that you are constantly reflecting on your day, on your life, on the decisions you've made. And I love that. And I like doing that in my own head, but the actual act of writing things down, I just find a bit boring, to be totally honest. I find it takes quite a long time, which I know is kind of the point. There's an element of slowing down your thoughts so that it's more manageable and a bit more peaceful in your head. And, I love that element of it. But it does just take a little bit, it takes a while. So boring takes a while. I have tried to keep diaries and journals throughout my entire life, and I'm always very chatty in them. I can't just be like, blah blah blah, like in the meditations, it's essentially like bullet points. It's like, here's an idea, here's a thought. But when I journal, I'm very much hi, it's me, Carmen. Oh, the funniest thing happened today. I was going to I'm very chatty, and I'm also polite. It's like I'm talking to a friend, and I do get a lot of benefit from having that kind of outlook when I am journaling. But that is one of the things that makes it take a long time. It's why I prefer thinking, but the issue with thinking is that you don't have a record of what you have thought. And the final thing that I think I find a little difficult with journaling is that I'm always I take that back. I have been very focused on keeping everything very neat and tidy. And it's not till quite recently that I've been able to focus on the point of the exercise. That the point of journaling is to get my thoughts out. It's to structure them in some sort of way. It's to slow them down. It's to think out loud, but thinking out book. It's like an external way of thinking. It's one of the reasons that I couldn't keep a bullet journal, and I don't want to boast or anything, but I'm now keeping a bullet journal. I love my bullet journal. I was far too obsessed with keeping it pretty. But you know what? Thoughts are messy, heads are messy. Bullet journals should be messy as well. It's like Dumbledore with the pensieve. And you just I've got a pen. You go literally like a pen because you write it down. Oh, this is working nicely. You go like that, and then you put it in the book, and then you've got it. Whatever. Anyway, I needed that page, so let's locate that again. It's just gotten very seagull-y outside as well, by the way. So I'm sorry if there's a lot of seagull sounds, but I do live in a coastal town. My life is very seagull based. There's never a moment where I'm not hearing seagulls, so welcome to my life. So I have 4 top tips for anybody who thinks that they should journal but just doesn't really like journaling. Number 1 is to explore journaling prompts. So here is a good example. I will decide as well. I have long been a believer of having electronic versions of books, like on a Kindle, but recently there's a few that I wanted to have so that I could do stickies and that kind of thing. So you will notice that I have more books now than I used to, just to put that there, just in case you're thinking, Carmen, you told us that you didn't buy books. So one of the books that I bought, even though I don't buy books, is this one. And I feel like I talk about stoicism all the time, but it's just so wonderful. But this is Ryan Holiday's The Daily Stoic Journal. That's what it says. Yeah. And what's really good about this is you get a prompt, and then you get a morning reflection and an evening reflection. So rather than it just being a case of getting your thoughts out of your head, which can be quite an overwhelming thing because we have a lot of thoughts, everything's very targeted. It's about prompts. So for example, here we've got, can I make my choices and accept whatever will be? is change really so bad? Is the status quo really so good? Things like that, just things to think about. And I think following prompt is a really good way of doing it. I'm going to write up a sheet of prompts that I use, and I will link it below, or I'll do something. In the description you will have access to some sort of list of prompts. What I do as well is kind of think in terms of very small steps. So just think, today all I'm going to do is answer one prompt with one sentence. Just make the goal very, very manageable. Number 2 is to journal in bullet points or in drawings or just non-conventional ways of writing. So I think often journaling takes the form of writing a letter, as if we're writing a letter to ourselves or to our younger self, our older self, somebody else. And I personally find the weird need to be polite in those situations. Like, I'm very formal when I'm writing my journal as if it's a letter. Whereas if you can just write in bullet points, just get some ideas out of your head, just involving ways of getting your thoughts onto the page that are a lot more time efficient and potentially a lot more fun. That is a very useful thing to do. Number 3 is kind of on the same lines, but it's just simply having a word of the day. I find that very useful because the amount of thought that has to go into coming up with that word of the day is the reflection that matters. So let's say you wake up in the morning, your head's feeling a little bit foggy, you know you've got lots of stuff to do, you might make your word of the day clarity. Or if you struggle to actively relax, which is something that I've been trying to do recently, then you might make the word of the day relaxing, or self-care, or ambition, or whatever it is. Write down that word. Just have that word as the kind of slogan of the day. And sometimes that can be enough to inform your decisions, inform your thoughts. It's like a theme for the day. You know, it's like Christmas. The theme of Christmas Day is Christmas. Everything's Christmas themed. There's lots of Christmassy things going on. Apply the same thing just to regular days. The word of the day could be patience, and you just look for every way to explore patience, to practice patience, to look for opportunities to be patient. Just writing down that one word can just shift the entire day. This is shifting. And finally, number 4 is ask questions without answering them. So this is similar to the word of the day in terms of kind of setting a thematic concept for the day. But I think one of the things that I find difficult about journaling is arriving at some sense of completion. So having the entry round itself off to have discovered something or learned something, as if that's what's important. I think sometimes I think I'm writing a book and that's the problem that I have. But you could just write down a question, like your own prompt, thinking, you know, what can I achieve today? And just let the answer of that question be the day that you live. Open-ended questions can be really, really important because they don't confine us in any way. And that really allows open thought and successful meditation on an idea. So asking open-ended questions, I would also highly recommend. So good luck. I hope that you reap the benefits of journaling in a kind of lazy journaling. I don't know, that seems a little dismissive. Efficient, we'll go for efficient. I hope you reap the benefits of this efficient journaling system. And if you like the video, please give it a like. If you want to see more, please subscribe, and please consider supporting the channel on my Patreon. The link will be in the description below, and I shall see you very shortly. Enjoy. Goodbye.
I do find it difficult to cope with.